What is going on? Sorry for the late start. Honestly, I ran out of coffee and there's no way that I can do this without coffee. So I needed to go get some. Poor planning on my part. Should have been a little bit quicker making a coffee this morning and realising that I didn't have any. I hope we're all good. We're seeing a few little chop and changes in the market at the moment. There has been Swiss fundamentals that have come out just now from Swiss National Bank. We are currently waiting for their monetary policy to be released. That will then, I am sure, lead to some movement throughout this morning surrounding the Swiss franc. What did I just want to have a very quick look at? Something just popped up on my phone and I just wanted to have a quick look. Just want to... I tell you what, kid's getting better. Not bad. Sorry, I just wanted to check over a position. The rejection away is lovely. Not sold on the short, if I'm honest, just because obviously we are waiting major fundamentals. I just want to have a look and see if they've been released yet. Bear with. We've also just seen EURCAD absolutely plummet and then end up all the way back at entry. Not really sure why right now, but keep an eye on it nonetheless just for a moment. Two seconds. Sees growth, that's fine. Keeping its rate unchanged, that's fine. I don't know, to be fair. Relatively positive from the SMB. More positive than I was expecting them to be today, actually. Wasn't expecting a very positive monetary policy statement at all from them. There's potential in dollar Swiss. The move's gone if we're not already in it, and I'm not, so I can't say I'm overly bothered by it. I just wanted to check the chart. Euro USD does have my attention this morning. Euro dollar, obviously we were looking for the break below 1880. We've obviously got that, and as a result we are moving nicely, about 70 pips to the good in that position. Just seeing the lows taken out, and we're just seeing a retest and rejection away from a previous breakout. Everything you'd want to see from a potential position at the moment, which is obviously lovely to see. Regarding potential and where we go, there is very little doubt at this point in time that if we break through 118, then we will find ourselves very quickly down at 1750 and then 116.20. We've got to be mindful of the little support region that we've got in play. I am about to sneeze, I apologise. We've got this little support region in place at 117.50, and we do need to get through that. Once we are through that area, we should then see pretty solid movement all the way through. Should be alright as we move and progress through there then. I'm just a little bit curious about this little support region that we're seeing around the 18 whole number. Whether or not we may see potential price stall around this area. It's acted as support a few times with the 4-hour time frame. Is something that does make me a little bit cautious. To be fair, in truth, it should be absolutely fine. If you're not in it and you want to take an entry, obviously waiting for the lows to be taken out on the lower time frame makes a lot of sense. But once 118 goes, we should be pretty set for that drop to the downside. CAD had its little moment just now, looked like it was strengthening up and then has decided that it fancies being weak again. Not really sure why or what has happened. There doesn't seem to be anything too visible that I can see from like a fundamental point of view that's meant that would be the likely scenario or the likely outcome. So we will just see what happens. Obviously, the dollar is strengthening up over the last week or so anyway. So it's something to be very mindful of. Gold is also looking a little bit promising this morning. So that is something that I do want to keep an eye on also. But we shall see. We shall see how we move and how we progress this morning. I have a pending order on US dollar CAD at 125.30, looking to then target down at 124.50. For those eagle-eyed will know that that's a trade that was taken about 2 weeks ago from those exact levels. And I am just looking for history to repeat itself if we get so lucky. So it's just something to be mindful of, something to watch for. The breaks back above 126, I will probably look to change that bias to the long and just look to double down on the US dollar strength that seems to be coming into the market. New Zealand dollar, I am in pound New Zealand short at the moment. I was hoping that the New Zealand dollar would strengthen up. With regards to NZDUSD, I'm not sold on a directional bias at the moment. Breaks back above 70 would obviously spell long positions for us. However, if we just stay in and around and below that position, I'm still very much hopeful and mindful of the short potential surrounding the New Zealand dollar. Not just in this pair, but also within New Zealand CAD, within New Zealand Swiss. There seems to be potential throughout all of these positions as things stand. Not really a trade. You can possibly take a trade on New Zealand dollar below 69.50. That would be something that I watch out for. In actual fact, just need to jot that down. So below 69.50, I do quite like the potential short there. So there is potential EURUSD. I also need to update members with as well, so I need to go through that. If it wasn't for this massive diary planner in front of me, I don't know how I would get through today, in all honesty. AUDCAD, I really liked the potential for the long just now with the engulfing candle. However, obviously seeing lower lows, lower highs come into the market, I would probably need to see the highs at 95.70 taken out before wanting to get into a position on this as things stand. So I think this one's one to just kind of keep on the back burner for a little while and see how we progress with it with New Zealand CAD. For some people, obviously, they may still be in it from when we entered previously at 96.90. Riding it down, we still haven't hit our overall target with that, but I appreciate some people may have taken profit off the table by now. Things are moving though, things are going quite nicely, so if we can get down below 95 again, 95.50 even, 95.45, that kind of region, then obviously we might have potential with regards to that. We shall see, and just be very, very mindful of the potential CAD strength that might be coming in to the pair today. Like I say, I think fundamental wise, there's not a great deal going on. I think for the most part, it was surrounding the Swiss bank. What else do we have? What else do we have? Oh, we've got a CAD speech at 9:30. That's a bit unusual. Euro speech and pound speeches at 9:30. What's going on at 9:30 to have everybody speaking? Ooh. Probably going to see some movement between 9:30 and 10:30. That will be very, very interesting to watch. A little bit intriguing, to be fair. Aussie yen, I also really like the short on this. We've obviously just seen the Aussie dollar gain a fair bit of strength. I don't really know where that's come from, if I'm honest. There doesn't overly seem to be a particular reason as to why we've had all this strength come into the market. So we will keep watch on it. Obviously the higher low that's forming at the moment and has formed is obviously something that we need to be pretty mindful of. But in the most sense, I'm not overly sure as to why we've seen such a push in from the Aussie dollar. The yen, however, obviously has been a little bit weak and has taken a bit of a hit today. That is due to fundamentals and just data coming out of Japan overnight that wasn't particularly great. But still, we shouldn't be in the position that we are in with it. We shouldn't be seeing the things that we are seeing. One thing I do want to look through this morning is gold. I don't expect some people to take it just because obviously it's such a quick mover, but there's definitely potential within that pair today. Aussie yen, if we take out the lows through here at 82.60, 100% a potential trade on that. So that's something to be mindful of. EU AJ 82.60. So there's definitely potential within that. New Zealand, Swiss, as I say, the Swiss franc has had its national rate statement this morning. We're starting to see that strengthen up. Obviously, this is a positive. I'm quite glad because it means that pound New Zealand's on its way down. But I also did really fancy the short on this to continue. Kind of is what it is. We'll let it do its thing and go from there. Still running in profit. Probably look to take profit off the table at this point in time. I think if we get a break back above, then obviously we see a pop back to 65.60. That's not the ideal scenario at all. There definitely seems to be some New Zealand strength and some merit to potential New Zealand positions today. EURCAD, a position that obviously we've been banging on about. Some people will still be in it. We're now breaking back below the 48.30 region on a look back down. Like I say, we spiked and then shot to the upside. I'm not really sure what happened or why. The speech at 9:30 does make me a little bit nervous as to where we might see this head. But to be honest, there's nothing immensely positive coming out of the euro in any way, shape or form. So I'm not convinced that that's going to be a good time for the euro at all. But we trade what we see, not what we think. So probably look to get out of my position when that starts to occur. But we will see. Oh my god, that coffee's good. But yeah, still we're in a very, very nice swing at the moment. things are moving nicely again surrounding that pair. One thing I do want to have a look at, the potential for New Zealand CAD, what that pair is doing. That's not a pair that we want to keep we want to look at all. Again, if anyone is in New Zealand CAD still, it's time to just take the profit off the table and run. Great position, almost immediately into profit, next to no drawdown. Everything that we could possibly want from a trade. So yeah, that's probably time to take profit. We're probably likely to see a bit of a push on the New Zealand dollar this morning, to be honest. Whether that has a knock-on into the EURCAD that we're currently in, I'm not sure. But definitely potential to see the New Zealand weaken off a little bit today. What else did I want to have a look at? Aussie USD, I'm pretty sure. So I was flying around earlier. I just wanted to check that. Nope, don't like it. Support. Just bring that down actually. I mean, with Aussie dollar, there definitely isn't a trade until 76.20 is taken out. Then from 26.20, you might get a push into might see a drive into 77. I'm not sold on it. I think there's better positions out there, to be honest. It's not to say there's not potential in it. I just think that there's better places that risk could go this morning. Gold, still very much focusing around the 125 region. I just think that that's probably today's probably the day that we're going to get that breakthrough. We've just come out and dropped that at the bottom of the consolidation that we've seen over the last kind of couple of hours, the last day or so. 125, there is no question. 1725 even. There is no question that holds all the keys. Get below that and that falls from the sky all the way back to 17 whole number. Breaks back above 1740. Again, longs up above. Something is going to happen with this pair today. It's been in consolidation and just done nothing for far too long now. And when this area breaks, it is going to break hard. So yeah, there is definitely a position to keep an eye on here. There is 100% hundreds of pips involved in gold today. Again, though, I know that that's probably going to prick some people's ears up and people need to be very sensible surrounding it. If you're a new trader, do not trade gold. Pound New Zealand, like I say, the drop seems to be occurring now. That pop below 95 that we were talking about yesterday. Yes, I got triggered in. Yes, I took the loss. Sucked. Almost immediately. It's just how the pair goes. I pulled 20 pips back yesterday afternoon when we started to see this situation, I believe. Seen that kind of price movement a million times before, knew that drop was about to come, and I'm currently involved from 96.19, so that's probably just about breaking into profit when we take into account spread. So it's not all doom and gloom. There is potential around. EURCAD has very much got potential. I think at the moment we need to just get below that 48.30 region. I have an order set at 48 whole number as well. But for all the time that we're trading below 50, I am pretty happy there. EURUSD below 18. Drop at the bottom of that 18 and it's off to the races there, I think. Dollar CAD, not really a trade there at the moment, I don't personally believe. New Zealand dollar, again, not really a trade. Probably look to take profit off the table, get out of that. Aussie yen, short below 82.60. Longs potentially above 83, back to 84. That has potential, not particularly sold on the risk to reward basis there though. Aussie CAD down below 95.40, 95.30. I would definitely be interested in taking short positions there. The one thing that I will note with this pair at the moment is obviously we have just broken back above a previous support region. So if we break the highs at 95.70, then there's long potential there, but probably only up until 69.30, 69.40. So 96 even, 96.40. So just be mindful, be careful. Whatever it is you're up to today, be safe, be sensible. Like I say, there is a little bit of data out at 9:30. Be very mindful of those speeches. There will be movements as a result of what is said in those. CAD, Euro, Pound, and there is some minor Fed speakers, but we don't really pay attention to those. Also, there's USD GDP out later on today. That will be very interesting, as every time they give the final and revised GDP, it seems to change dramatically. So that will be interesting to see, interesting to watch. But apart from that, I think it's just a day of being a little bit sensible, being careful with what we do and what we're looking at, and just going from there. So yeah, have a decent day, and I'll catch up with people later.